All right. Oh, wait. All right. How about now? Is let's see. All right. There we go. All right. Now it looks like we're all up and running again. So welcome back, Coach Big Red here, back in another edition of some college football 25 WKU Dynasty. We're gonna put a little bit of twist on this time. If you were here last time or saw the last video, or in the last stream, you saw I said that I was gonna do. So I'm doing a WKU Dynasty, and that I was gonna post also clip it, try to clip it in a couple episodes and post those shorter episodes on YouTube. One for the kind of beginning scouting period and one for the first week of the season, which I played and then get that to YouTube. Well, if you there's the YouTube now, so you can go into the Twitch description and go make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Also, make sure you try to subscribe to the Twitch so you can get well, make sure you know when I go live. But so if you go to the YouTube, you'll notice it's not on there, and it kind of turned out. If you want to go back and watch it, you can go back and watch the VOD on Twitch. Turns out I really had no idea what I was doing when it came to scouting. So I did some research, went out, shout out guys like Bordeaux and on YouTube and those guys who have put up some of those scouting and recruiting tutorials. And so, yeah, just kind of the way I was doing it, we weren't really going to get a ton of good recruits. And so that kind of, that first week's pretty important because that's when you had the most. And we'll go into all that once we started. But so basically, what we're going to do we're going to start fresh. Wasn't that big of a deal. All we really did in the first one was play the first week anyway, which was against Alabama, which, I'm playing on Heisman difficulty. So either way, you're probably not going to do very well on Heisman difficulty. So we're going to start over that again today. Right now, it is 8 o'clock. Yeah, about 8:15 Central Time. So what I'll probably do is tonight, I'm thinking about streaming here maybe for a couple hours, trying to get about to the same spot I did, maybe the end of that first week one against Alabama, and then just kind of getting off for a little bit. And then I'll come back, depending on what time it is. This is all kind of time dependent. And then when I come back, I think I'm going to start on. I talked about last time starting a Road to Glory series with a quarterback in the Navy offense running the Veer because, as I talked about last time, I'm a huge fan of the Veer offense. I think it's one of the fun of our offenses to watch. One definitely in the game, one of the funnest ones to play. Now I've never played it on Heisman difficulty. When I load up my first game, I just put it on varsity or whatever the default difficulty was, and it was fun to play. So it'll be interesting to see that, and that'll be fun. Hopefully to get in later tonight. Um, and then the goal is and the plan is that once I have all this down, then I'll edit it, get some episodes up in the YouTube, and you can go watch those on YouTube. But the reason there's no episodes up there now, and you can kind of, if you haven't watched the last stream, you like kind of disregard it because I was kind of just playing around with some things, got into the recruiting, realized I really had no clue what I was doing. And yeah, I kind of had messed it up where it's hard to go back and look. But I watched some tutorials, and now I have kind of a better idea. Still not perfect, but a lot better of understanding of how the scouting works, how we can get some 4-star, got a lot of 4-star or a few 4-star guys, so good amount of 3-star guys, stuff like that. Especially in early going, I think that's when it's really important. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right back into Reese, kind of attempt number two here. jumping back into this. So here's our settings. We're going to run the Dynasty on. We're going to have it on Heisman skill level, which will make it interesting here on WKU. Injuries on. Let's do 4 minutes with the accelerated clock off. Full control. No auto recruiting. That's all good. We're not going to change any of the conferences because we want to keep it as realistic as possible. Obviously, we're going to be playing WKU. We are going to keep playing starting as a head coach, and we're going to create a new one. Archetype will go recruiter. We're going to need as much help recruiting as we can get, especially in this first one. And if you were here last time, you remember the coach I decided to pick is one of the most famous coaches, probably the most famous and decorated coaches in Western Kentucky history, and that's Jack Harbaugh, obviously the patriarch of the Harbaugh um, family dynasty that's going on now. With his two sons coaching now both in the NFL, obviously both in the NFL at one point, and then Jim, I believe it was, went back to Michigan, and then now he's come back to the NFL for the Chargers. So Jack Harbaugh, very successful, probably the most successful coach at Western Kentucky. I have to look that up, but I'd be willing to put money on it. Alma mater, I believe. I looked this up live. I got to look this up again. It wasn't Boston College. What was it? Hold on. Let me look this up again. Where did he go? He's from Ohio. I remember that much. Let's see. Oh, Bowling Green. That's what it was. Bowling Green. Bowling Green College. Again, like I said, ironically, not near Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is where Western Kentucky University is. We're going to keep the pipeline Kentucky. He's from Ohio, but we'll keep it Kentucky. I don't know. We'll keep this just balanced at 50-50. Appearance, we don't really go too much into all of this. Just, kind of pick. Just, that's fine. Physique, he's about 6'1". I think I believe he was like 175 in his playing days, so we'll bring him back to his prime. We'll keep him at the traditional polo, and just go ahead and get right into this recruiting. Here's the past year's WKU, but WKU has been pretty good these last few seasons. 3 straight winning seasons. 4 of the last 5 have been winning seasons. Have some great names come through. Our goal is to make a bowl game. I think we can definitely do that. So let's go ahead and sign the contract and jump right in. Personally, if you didn't see the last one, and if you're watching this on YouTube, I am a big Western Kentucky fan. Went to school there. Saw the Bailey Zappi, obviously in recent years. Austin Reed, when Tyson Elton came in with that air raid offense, that's been a lot of fun. And yeah, excited about this year. So what we're gonna do in this episode or this stream with the Dynasty episode, if you're watching on YouTube, is we're going to do 2 things. One, we're going to look at the team, kind of go through the team. I'm a decent Western Kentucky fan. Some of the guys I know, but, like any college fan knows, you don't know all the guys because there's so many new faces every year with the transfer portal guys moving in and out. Some of these guys I might not even recognize because there's been so much action going on, and you can only keep up with so much. But we'll start with this, and then we'll go into recruiting. So first things first, I talked about this a lot in the last time we tried this, but we got a quarterback battle. WKU's definitely got in real life. Tyson Eldon's got an interesting decision he's going to make between the transfer in out of Louisiana, TJ Finley, 6'7", 250. Both these guys, big quarterbacks. Finley, I believe he transferred out of South Texas, I want to say, where he had a really good year, set a lot of records. One of those schools in Texas, I believe, was South Texas. Also played in the SEC for a few years, so that's big. Former SEC guy. In the game, he's got pretty good stats, great throw power, much better deep accuracy. And then at the backup here, we had Caden Velkamp. He's a younger guy, sophomore. He really best known for Western Kentucky fans. Last year in the Toastery Bowl, he stepped in because where is not Tucker Parks, Turner Helton, who was a nephew of the head coach, started the game. Got down about 21 points. Veltkamp came in, led an amazing comeback. But really, during the season, he was pretty underwhelming. So I talked about last time. He's got some good stats in the game. Doesn't have good deep accuracy. think I'm gonna lean to start this year TJ Finley for a couple reasons. One, even though they're the same overall. One, because he's a more of an upperclassman, a junior, whereas Veldkamp is still a sophomore. I don't really know how transfer works, so I don't know if guys will transfer out as they don't get playing time. But because he's older, also just because I like his stats a little bit better with the offense, especially his throw power and his deep accuracy, I think will help us out a lot more in that deep passing game that we're going to try to get going. So Finley will be our starter. I would get, if I was a bet man, I'd say he's going to be the starter in real life and for the Hilltoppers this year. But we'll have to wait and see on all that. At the running back position, we got Elijah Young coming back for his senior year. Good year last year. Didn't touch the ball as much as I think most of us Western Kentucky fans would have liked him to touch the ball. But he's got good stats in the game: 94 speed, 95 excel. He's got decent hands. So hopefully, we when I tried this the first time, he definitely keeping the ball. It was ironic because keeping the ball on the ground is what helps us out so much. But honestly, keeping the ball on the ground, I think is what's going to help Western Kentucky's offense the most this season. We got Jalen Hampton, the junior redshirt at the backup, and then LT Sanders, who we might see a little bit of, but it mostly Young and Hampton that are going to be getting the bulk of the carries. Moving into wide receivers. Wide receivers, we don't have a ton of great overalls, but we definitely got some capable guys here. We'll make that move here in a second. Dalvin Smith's the number one. He'll definitely be the redshirt senior, definitely be our number one receiver this year. 81 overall, 86 speed. He's got decent, pretty good catching traffic, 89 spec catch, really good. Catching stats. Easton Messer had a really good year last year, his redshirt freshman year. Was definitely a reliable target for Austin Reed. And so we're expecting production out of him this year. He'll be a good number two guy. Michael Matheson, a good number three, pretty trusty. These top three positions were pretty good. 90 speed. The redshirt senior, also redshirt senior. We got a lot of senior receivers, so I think when we do some recruiting, we're at to remember to be targeting some receivers. Hopefully, we get some guys good guys to bring in. And then at the number 4, we have Bryce Childress. I'm actually going to move Katie Hutchinson into that number 4 spot over Childress. I like Hutchinson a little bit more. He's a little faster. He's got a little better acceleration and agility. In real life, I expect him to be playing in this 4 spot anyway. He had pretty good year last year. He's a shorter guy. All our receivers, we don't really have any, besides Dalvin Smith at 6'3", all our receivers are pretty undersized. So definitely going to want to be getting down the field with these guys. Moving into our tight end, our biggest threat, River Helms, coming off a good year with Austin Reed. 6'4", 242, good guy, vertical threat. 83 speed's pretty good. 86 excel. He's got good catching stats, so hopefully he can be pretty good for us. He's just a junior, so we'll have another year of eligibility on him. Quickly going through the O-line, Marshall Jackson. We have some just kind of going through this. I went through this last time. Pretty good O-line. Definitely Quantavius Leslie is definitely our best offensive line senior out from Georgia. He'll be definitely anchoring that left side of the line. But overall, kind of mid to high 70s on the O-line. That's pretty good. Defense side of the ball, we're definitely lighter on. Had a lot of guys at Western transfer out into go to other schools. What was his name? Simpkins. I can't remember. We had a really good linebacker, defensive end, go transfer to Baylor. We lost a lot of guys in the transfer portal. We got some new guys here, but a lot of these faces I'm not familiar with. But hopefully, as the season starts up in August and in this dynasty, it's kind of nice because I'll be able to, and like any other Western fans watching, we'll be able to learn more about these guys now before we see them on the field on Saturdays. So we got Hosea Wheeler, the junior out of California, Elk Grove, California, 77 overall. That's pretty good. Decent, rush move stats, coming off the edge. So that's a decent guy holding down the left side. Right end, not as great. Deontay McCray coming off the right end, the sophomore. 75 overall. That's not bad for the sophomore, though. Hopefully he can progress over these next couple of years. Defensive tackle, we got Rivera Harvey, 79 overall. That's pretty good. He's got good strength, 95. You like to see that from Buffalo, New York. He'll be anchoring down the middle of the line. He's a redshirt freshman. We probably going to have to go at defensive tackle here in recruiting because we got 2 seniors there. Left outside linebacker, we got Sebastian Benjamin, redshirt senior, 80 overall, so he's definitely one of our stronger players. We also got Devon Lynch backing him up, so two good left outside backers, both seniors though. Again, linebacker's a big one. Also, we're gonna have to go into recruiting. Middle linebacker, we got Chandler Matthews. Chandler Matthews is definitely a guy in real life that hopefully will give some good production and that people are going to be expecting a lot out of. I believe he is a transfer. I don't remember. Maybe I just don't remember from last year, but I'm fairly certain that he's a transfer. I wish we could tell you if you like. If you select them now, you can just move them. It'd be cool if maybe they can, and my face cam's just covering it. But uh, but I wish they would tell you because I'm pretty sure Chandler Matthews is a transfer though. He'll be playing that Mike position. Goodry is definitely the kind of one of the guys who people are expecting the most out of production wise playing. We're gonna have him at the right outside, 80 overall. He's got good tackling, good decent block chain moves, not great, but 77 finesse. That's pretty good for an 80 overall. He's a senior, redshirt senior, so hopefully we get some production out of him. Definitely a good cornerback room. Western definitely we got really lucky and it's with the position room, the corner is really good. Anthony Johnson Jr. out of Florida. He flirted with the transfer portal a little bit this off season, but decided to come back. So that's really good for us because he's a really good corner, 91 speed. We got really fast corners. Upton Stout, all the Western Kentucky fans remember Upton Stout had a great year last year. I think he also did a little bit of flirting with the transfer portal and decided to stay put here Western. So that's going to be really good. Number two corner. And then we kind of fall off after that. We got Elaine at the number three, and then kind of Nazir Ward and Antoine Alexander backing up. But definitely these top two corners, Johnson Jr., Anthony Johnson Jr., and Upton Stout, both hopefully. I thought I just sneezed there. Guys can give us good production. Moving into man, keep feeling the sneeze coming on. All right, Virgil Marshall is running our free safety. Most notably about Virgil Marshall, he got an interception in the spring game recently. Wasn't a big thing. He's kind of been in the news. He'll definitely start free safety. Athletic guy. If we look at his coverage stats, 76 zone, not terrible, but not too bad. We can definitely deal with that. Running at the free and at the strong, we'll have DeMarco Williams, the junior. He's a junior too, right? Yeah. So we have some age here or not some age, but some guys who have another year here in the secondary. DeMarco Williams, also another speedy guy, 76 zone. So very similar player to DeMarco or Virgil Marshall. And at the kicker, we have Carnero. He's a sophomore, 86 kick power, 75 accuracy, and then the punter will have Maynard. He'll take over this year, redshirt junior. All right, so that's kind of the roster. Let's go ahead and not waste too much time and jump right into recruiting. Now, if you were here last time or saw the video last time, I definitely baffled this, but the good news is I think I've kind of figured out what was the worst that I did, and hopefully now we can fix it. We'll definitely have a different class here. Let me really quick, because one of the important things is going to be eventually looking at these deal breakers. So what I'm going to go ahead and do real quick is let me move my face cam. Go here. Options. This should not take too long. Move camera. And I'm going to move it. Let's move it over here to the... This is a good spot. Let's go bottom left for now because I want to be able to see this deal breaker. We might move it back here in a minute. All right. So go back to the prospect list. So I think what we're going to do now, we're going to sort it by interest, and we're just going to add as many of these 4- and 3-star guys that we're already pretty top on their board. So just kind of go down this list. Quarterback we'll skip for now because we don't need it, but receivers will definitely need. We can add some halfbacks, left tackle. Well, he's a 2-star, so we'll skip him. Halfback, we got a lot of halfbacks we can add. Right tackle, that's definitely going to be a position to need. But all these guys that we are on their list who are especially mainly just the 3 in the 4-star guys who are positions that, especially the positions of need, but even the ones that maybe are not labeled as positions of need that we kind of saw in the depth chart we might need. Corner, that's a good one to add. There we go. 4-star here. Hooks, right guard. We're definitely gonna need a right guard in the future. Coming down here, the rest of these are 2-stars. So that's already 15 guys on our board. That's a pretty good number. And then, so what we're going to do is we want to also try to go after as many 4-stars as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the search here. We're going to move this to any interest in your school. And what we want to do is we're going to change the state to our pipeline, which is going to be Kentucky. And we're going to search that. And then we're going to look at all the 4-stars. Okay, so not too many, and unfortunately, all these guys have deal breakers except for DeAndre Elling, the right tackle. So we'll go ahead and put him on our board. But unfortunately, these other guys wanted the championship cameras and coach prestige, which we do not have. But we do have Elling for now, so we'll put him on the list. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead. Whoops, didn't mean to go back. Back to setting up the recruiting board. Let's go ahead and check one more thing, because we don't, last time I just kind of completely filled out. We don't have to do that right now. Let's look up, let's search it by 4-stars. Some of these guys are not going to be, super, but right now we're just kind of looking at guys that might be in our pipeline. So right now we kind of have some of these 2 guys who are in our pipeline, and just kind of looking at some of these guys, maybe take a shot on Hyde here because he's not really too highly recruited yet. Killings, let's go ahead and skip on Killings just because those guys, it seems like teams are already kind of going after him. Let me just go to the 4-stars. I don't want to really be. Oh, Hyde is a. Yeah, no, that was a bad idea. Let's take Hyde off. We definitely don't want to be going after any. We're really not gonna have many shot at 5-stars. Let's just keep with the 4-stars. Here's the pipeline, guys. C-Trap. All those teams are kind of in the middle, so we can add him to that board. Let's see. I'm not really gonna have a shot at him. All these guys have deal breakers. Skip through all these guys. Who we got here? Milburn. Milburn's already recruited. We'll probably skip on him. Who's this? Ham. He's getting kind of recruited too. We'll probably have to pass on that. Vincent's also. I don't want to compete. So when you see these and you're seeing these bigger schools in the bottom right here, Ohio State, we're like, and they're already recruiting these guys pretty hard. We're just going to want to go ahead and skip on those guys because we're probably not going to. Now this might be an interesting one. Fotu. See how all these teams are kind of middle. It means that nobody's really recruiting him too high, so we'll kind of keep that. Or nobody's really pursuing him right now. I guess that's a better way to say it. I think we'll keep it right there for now. I think that's kind of a safe spot. 18 guys. That's a good amount of guys. So let's go to our board real quick. And what the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and we already have this guy's a deal breaker. We must have accidentally added him to the board. We'll take him off. We don't have any more deal breakers, do we? All right, good. So now what we're going to go ahead and do, we have some 4-stars on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 4-stars on here. Hopefully we'll be at least be able to get a few of these guys. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is, I'm trying to recall from memory what I think, if I remember right, the best thing to do is in these first couple weeks with all these hours we have is we're going to scout a lot of especially our 3-stars, and then we're going to that's looking for those diamonds in the rough, and then we'll go ahead and offer, the first thing that we're going to do is just start offering these guys scholarships off the bat. Because when you offer these guys scholarships, it's good to just kind of go ahead and have that out there, especially these 4-star guys, especially these guys who were already, pretty high on their interest board, We want to just go ahead and offer these guys, scholarships. That way, especially these 4-star guys, because, we definitely want, the best shot. Like here's Hooks, let's offer him a scholarship because we definitely want the best shot at these 4-star guys. I don't think we're in his interest range. So now with that being said, we're gonna go down here. We might have to have enough to offer the rest of these guys scholarship. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and look into kind of scouting these 3-stars and just kind of getting a feel for them, see which guys maybe hopefully find some diamond in the roughs. Also making sure none of these guys are busts, and that way we can take them off the board. So just kind of going through here, using these points to scout these guys. See, like this, he is a 4-star, which means he can drop down to a 3, but that means that red triangle means he's a bust. So we'll go ahead, because he's a bust, and just remove him from the board, even though he is a 4-star, because that means everybody else is probably going to be recruiting him like a 4-star. At least to my knowledge, that's how it's going to go. Here's unfortunately another guy, a 4-star, who's unfortunately a bust. And I do not believe that we are on his. And he would have been a rough shot anyway with Kentucky going at him like that. So we'll go ahead and take him off of our board. And this is kind of what you got to do, is just kind of weed out these guys who you're not really sure. The 4-stars, I don't know why I've accidentally did that. I'm not really super interested in recruiting or scouting the 4-stars. It's really these 3-stars. Dang, we're not hitting on these 3-stars right now. Whoops, man, I always hit beam one too many times, or back one too many times. Let's form. All right, where's that? The diamond in the rough. Where you go? We'll eventually get to him. So let's go to Marco. Go ahead and do. Man, we are pretty high up there with him. But let's just go ahead and we'll scout him anyway. I didn't like that Ohio State's, trying to get him that high. Well, that's probably why they're trying to get him that high, because that's a diamond in the rough, so we like that. Let's go ahead. We'll offer him the scholarship. Ohio State going like that, I don't really know. We're really high on his board, but I don't know if we're going to be able to compete with a team like Ohio State. Temple, though, this is a guy we definitely could compete for. Maybe we can get a diamond in the rough here. That would be nice. No, it just says a 3-star, but that's okay. Keenan. Nope, unfortunately, there's another bust player. Let's go ahead and we'll remove him from the board, because we really are not interested too much in these guys who are turning into these busts. It's really these 3-stars. There we go. There's a 3-star. Let's go look at its overview. Purdue is kind of going hard, but we're pretty similar there. Nobody's taken too heavy of a lead there. So let's go ahead and we'll offer him a scholarship. AJ Stevenson, 3-stars. Let's go ahead and scout him. We're kind of running out of scouting hours here. I got 35 hours. I want to keep scouting these guys, because now I got to make a decision. We'll go ahead and take him off the board. About offering scholarships. So we've offered already a lot of these guys scholarships. So let me take a look at him. Where everybody's kind of in the middle here. So what I'm going to do with him. What do I want to do? Because I really didn't even have the option. We'll keep him on the board, and hopefully nobody will go after him yet, and then we can send the house next week before we play in our first game. But for now, let's just go ahead and offer him a scholarship. That way, we can kind of be in there. Dang, I did it again. I think I hit the button too many times. I'm so used to when you scout, you just kind of got to match the button, the X button, or, on the PlayStation controller to get that. So, but let's keep going here. Temple, let's go ahead, offer him a scholarship. Go ahead and get these scholarships out here. We're basically just going to offer, especially these guys that we scouted, and we know they're 3-stars. Definitely want all the 4-stars. I'm pretty sure I got all the 4-stars already. Let's sort 1, 2, 3. All these guys should have offered scholarships already. Good. Basically, I've offered everybody a scholarship except for these 2 guys down here, which I have not scouted. So let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and let's go ahead. We won't offer these guys yet because I don't. And I did it again because I haven't. Do I want to offer him? You know, let's go ahead. Let's just go ahead and offer the scholarship. It can't hurt at this point. But these guys down here, I think I want us let's just use our scouting points that we have right now. All right. We could offer another scholarship, but we don't really need to right now. So we offered some of these guys scholarships, these 4 and these 3. Just go ahead and get that off the bat. And that's really all we can do from right now. What we'll do next, well, we can go ahead and sim because we're gonna go ahead and do that right now anyway. That's all we could do for the thing. Custom schedule. We're not going to change the schedule. Keep it as realistic as possible. Top stories. We can't really upgrade our coach points with only 5 skill points. So let's go ahead and jump into the next week, which should be the first week against Alabama. A couple guys have reached their top 8. That's not really a big deal right now. Some guys are at the risk of transfer. Upton Stout, but the transfer thing I'm also still trying to get used to, so I'm not going to play it that huge right now. I know we got the bye week first, so we have a couple weeks here of being able to scout and stuff. All right, so we see we've gained influence on some of these guys. If we're looking to buy our 4 stars, jump to 1 on some of these guys. Fotu, we really haven't jumped up. Probably shouldn't have scouted him, but that's okay because we didn't really need to scout him because he's at. This might be a guy we could take a shot at because I think it's Akron is the first, and we can definitely compete with Akron. Some of these guys were first on their board. That's good to see. So we have 2 4-star guys that were already first on their board. That's good. We might end up this week sending the house on those guys just so we can already start getting their things down and pitching them hard. And maybe the guys we're going to run with. Coming down here, let's look at finish scouting some of these 3 stars real quick. Just to make sure none of these guys are bust. Alright, so there's one right there. We didn't get the... I do not believe we offered him a scholarship, so that's good right there. Remove him from the board. So we got 12 guys right here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 stars. That's a pretty good number there. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of them were in their top 5. So that's pretty good. And I don't think any of them are getting heavily recruited by any big schools. Tennessee's behind us, but we're number 1, so we definitely need to keep recruiting. Clemson. Oh, wait, he's not interested. Like I talked about, I think Akron we can take on. Hopefully Ohio State doesn't super, come at him. Setter Storm, we can definitely take a run at. Purdue will be interesting. Maybe, we might get outplayed there. Iowa State, I think we can definitely compete with, guys like that. So let's go ahead with some of these guys that we're kind of going to lead on and take this time and just look at kind of. So we already have, and the other thing that I've learned is, you'll see on the right side, we have kind of their motivations and stuff and what they're most interested in. The goal there is that we're going to want to get those 3 check marks. So eventually, once these guys kind of narrow down in their top 5 and their top 8, we'll send the house on them, and that'll try to narrow down their interest. And hope we'll get 3 check marks there, and then we can take away, kind of send in a house and just send them on a hard sell onto those 3 categories once we have that. But I'm trying to think now if it's the best idea to send the house now or to hold off on that. I mean, we do have a lot of hours, and we got to use these hours anyway, so maybe the best idea would be, because the other option would be to go out and go back to the prospect list. I doubt we're going to find any more 4 stars, in our pipeline or anything like that. And what we're really looking at here is just guys who are not really getting recruited, like targeted at all. We really, if I remember right, we looked up all the Kentucky guys anyway. Not really realistic to real life, not too many. It's not a huge pipeline like others. So here's some guys. We got Elling, right tackle. Let's see anybody coming at him. See, Kentucky's coming at pretty far. We're really not going to be able to compete with Kentucky. A fullback, Vanderbilt's going at them pretty hard. So some of these guys, we're just really not going to be able to compete with some of these teams like Kentucky and Louisville. I don't really want to get into wars over them with some of these guys. Now, here we go. Here's a guy, Atkins, Kentucky JUCO. I see how all these teams are in the middle. That means no one's really pursuing him right now. So he's a 3-star, but we'll put him on the board. I bet you that those top guys at the top are the only 4-stars. Yeah, just these three, and we're really not going to be able to come at Allen. The good thing is we scout him anyway, and he's already diamond in the rough, or already a guy. But hopefully we get some of these 3-stars, and they'll be diamonds in the rough. Don't really need a kicker, right tackle. He's being recruited pretty hard. Any of these other guys, just not really. One thing we can do real quick. I hit B again, didn't I? Dang it. We could expand it to Tennessee, but I don't think I want to do that right now. I think right now, what best thing we can do is that get these 4-stars and go ahead and start sending the house on them. Especially these guys that we're kind of in the close, like here we're pretty close with Tennessee. So let's go ahead, send the house on these guys. That way we can kind of learn what their interests are and then start hard selling them. Fotu, are we really? We're not really. He'll be an interesting one I'll come back to. But number 5 here, let's go ahead, send the house on him so we can learn more. We already got proximity home, which is good for us. We can hard sell on that. We're first on his board. How hard? We're still pretty close with Boston College, though, so let's go ahead, send the house on him as well. Shaker, let's see how close we are. Purdue is ahead of us, and already we're pretty close. He's almost down to his top 8, but we'll definitely be in there right now. But let's go ahead, send the house, hopefully get a big jump on him, and then we can start hard selling him. Now, again, with him, like stuff like this will be interesting because I didn't see, some of this in the playthroughs with him. It'll be interesting, if us, Purdue, and us also get to the end, he might pick Purdue just over, prestige of school. This will kind of be trying out. But those are all our 4-star guys. Do we have any 3-stars that are diamond in the rough? So we had DeMarco here. Let's go ahead. And we have 160 hours. We can go ahead and send the house on him. Actually, what I want to do is we might as well, because we have some of these hours left all. I'm okay with sending the house on him as well. Getting, kind of know him and get into his stuff. Let's go ahead and, because we have 110 bonus hours that we're not using, and we can go ahead and just scout these guys, as many as we can, making sure none of these guys are, because that would suck all this time we put into. We don't want any of these guys to be bust, hopefully, and this guy, that's unfortunate there. Hooks is a bust. We'll go ahead and, we could, I guess it's not the end of the world because we can take away this in the house if we want to. Let's go ahead and keep that like that for now. That's not the end of the world. Because at the end of the day, being where we at, all right, that's all the hours we got. A 3-star, right guard isn't going to be the end of the world for us. So it's really not terrible if we. How close is he to his top? See, Clemson, I don't know, we might want to take Fotu off because Clemson is not really going to compete with, and they're already starting new. See how they're already starting new to go after him. They're not going after him too hard. I was probably honest that jump might just because he got offered a scholarship. So we could theoretically send the house, but then we don't really. It seems like Clemson's pursuing him, and we don't really want to get into a war over him with between us and Clemson. So, oh no. Are we frozen? Oh, there we go. We're back. All right. So yeah, with Fotu, I don't really know if we really want to get into any kind of bidding war with Clemson. So we'll go ahead and just remove him. That'd still leave us as 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. So 1, Why is it? Should be sorting it by. Yeah, 4 4 stars that we have a shot at. One of them is a bust, but that's okay. One more thing that might be able to do is when we look up is doing states around where we are. So going into maybe Tennessee, is a closer state to Kentucky, and maybe there we can find guys there that aren't really being recruited by bigger schools as hard, and that way we can start going after those guys 4 stars because they'll be within our pipeline. So let's change this to some 4 stars. So are any of these guys, right here, we got Murphy, Rico Murphy. See how all these teams are kind of in the middle. Tennessee's out ahead a little bit. Let's go ahead and add him, though, because he's not really. Ole Miss taking on Low. We don't really have a shot at that too much. Arkansas pushing him. We don't really have a shot at that too much. Lehman kind of also. All right, maybe another state. I hit B again, didn't I? Maybe Ohio. I don't know if we'll really have some pipeline there. Let's see though. Might as well take a shot at it. Would it be better to go this way to get to the O's? Let's try. I don't know if Ohio's really considered a pipeline yet. No, not really. Um, to Kentucky, which it really doesn't make sense because it's pretty close. And it's hard with Kentucky. For some reason, I want to say that like Florida was one of the ones, but what about Alabama? That's pretty far. I wouldn't think Alabama would be within. Oh, it is. See, this is the thing I think that still a little bit confuses me is that I don't really completely understand how the pipeline works. Um, but like these guys, it still says proximity to home is pretty good. I mean, none of these guys, all these guys are interested in championship contenders, pro potential, brand exposure, stuff like that. So unfortunately, it's not looking like. Okay, so we have C proximity to home when it comes to these Bama guys. So that might. So then, wait, hold on. I am interested. If we go back to Ohio, I always am hitting B. I'm gonna have to get used to that. If we go back to Ohio, is that not a good proximity to home? Because Kentucky's Bowling Green is really not that far from. Maybe it's mostly the southern parts of Ohio, so that if you live in northern Ohio, it's a decent drive. But like playing time, we can promise that guy playing time. Is he? No, I see he's getting recruited. He's a 4. He's just a 4 star. So um, see, Ohio State's going at that guy, but I want to see. See, we have A minus proximity home with some of these guys, so let's see. Maybe we can find some of these guys, Ohio, that are kind of being overlooked. We already got this guy right here. Yeah, Wisconsin's going to him. We don't want to compete with that. Maybe not. Yeah, where it's going to be hard. None of those guys are really. Man, what else would be? Why do I feel like I need to pull? And I did it again. Why do I feel like I need to pull up a map? What else would be near Kentucky? I'm trying to think. What else would be near? Like a good pipeline to Kentucky. Um, South Carolina, I doubt that that's gonna be like I don't know if the pipeline like how that works. I'm just kind of trying to think of stuff, on a map that's gonna be more closer to home. We got all these guys. See, all these guys kind of want so. Yeah, Minnesota, of course, we're not gonna have good proximity to home there. Let me hold on a second. What's a spot we could go to? See, we try West Virginia, maybe. I mean, really don't hear that many guys come out of West Virginia. What about Indiana? There we go. I should have thought about that. Indiana. Let's try Indiana. That's not too far away. I was kind of blanking there on my U.S. geography, but this shouldn't be. Let's see. So we have B plus. That's pretty good proximity to home. For some of these guys, we might be able to get. So let's see. Hopefully, we get some of these guys who are not. See right here. these guys are not really too much. He's not really getting. Purdue's the only one, and it's gonna be hard to compete with Purdue. But we can go ahead and add these guys, except for him. We'll keep that. But let's go ahead and go back and look. I keep going back. I should make it where you go back. And maybe this wasn't a smart idea, but just adding some of these guys, you know, just to kind of see for now what we're looking like here. We got Ingold here. He's kind of getting up by Purdue and Notre Dame, so we might not want to be messing with that too much. He's pretty good here. We're kind of still in the middle here with Murphy, so we can keep him on there for now. Speed, Purdue is starting to go on him a little bit, but we'll keep him on here for now just because we'll see how much further they try to get him. But I think for now, that's kind of going to do it for this week, at least, of scouting. We use all our scouting points. And again, yeah, like I said, I'm nowhere near perfect to where, some of these other people have kind of mastered this recruiting. But for now, this is definitely, I think, the smarter way to go about it. So, this stuff right now, we're first on a lot of those guys, boys, so that was pretty good. We did get knocked off one of those, but that might have been one of those guys that we kind of just added at the end. Yeah, it was one of those guys out of Indiana, I think. So, yeah, we really had no shot. But a lot of these guys were already first on their board, so that's really good. And as they kind of narrow down into their top 5, what we'll want to do here, I don't know if we really didn't do it right now, but here in a few weeks, what we'll want to do is so Ingold, yeah, we'll go ahead and take him off the board. Is as we learn more about these guys, you can go over here to recruiting and you see these check marks and these X's as we have to send them home. We'll want to try eventually in 2 to 3 weeks. We should be able on these guys and they get into their top 5 to have 3 check marks on them. And at that point, we can start hard selling them to get them, move up on their board. But so some of these guys, maybe let's go ahead and Stevenson is a 3-star. Hold on, let's get to our 4s. How do I feel like I keep doing this and I don't understand completely how to keep it on the hard sell. Okay, so there we go. So here, see, this is interesting because so what we're gonna go ahead and do here is, remember we talked about Murphy last time. No one's really moved on him, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead. Let's just go ahead and finish scouting. I don't know why I hit that, but we can go ahead and finish scouting, and that might be a reason guys aren't really going in because he's kind of a. So this is the part where I'm getting a little bit like I'm mistaken because he's a 4-star, but he's a diamond rough, which means or not a diamond rough, he's a bust, which means he's more like a 3-star. But again, 3-stars for us are still, in enough time will be productive. For now, we can go ahead and leave him alone, and look at some of these other guys. Is anybody coming at speed? Reggie Speed here. Purdue is a little bit, but for now we might be able to compete that. I don't know. Let's go ahead and we can offer him a scholarship just because we do want to get as much of these 4-stars as possible, obviously. So let's go ahead and it won't hurt to offer him a scholarship. I think that's all of our. So let's go ahead and what we're gonna do with Speed. I mean, do we go ahead and give him? Do we wait another week maybe before we give him the send the house? Let's go ahead and we can finish scouting Shaker. There we go. So Shaker, there's a diamond in the rough there. We've already sent the house with him. We're pretty just ahead of Purdue. That's good. They're falling down. That's definitely how we want it to look. We already have 2 check marks on him as well, so that's really good. We just need one more, and we can start doing the hard sell and move up further on his board. So that's pretty good. But we're already in good shape. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 4-stars that were already number 1 on their board. And with this Kevin Locke, I mean, he might be a lock for us. He's a pure 4-star, so that's good. It's these guys like this. Like he is a 4-star, but he's not as much He's not getting recruited by anybody right now. All those guys kind of in the middle. I think we're going to go ahead and we can go after him because he's either way he's going to be a 3-star, and that's not the end of the world for us. And we have all these points, so we might as well use them on these guys. We've looked at the board. There's really no other 4-stars too much that we're going to be able to go at. I could check another state. I just don't know where we're at. We could check maybe Illinois. We're not too far away from Illinois, but I really doubt that we're going to have too many other guys that we're going to find. Any of these 4-stars that we're going to be able to, find and really, be able to start. All right, let's look at proximity to home. So, yeah, really with these guys, we do have him, but he's already getting pressed by Michigan, Borum. So, really, Shaker we have. He's from Illinois, so, that proves maybe that's what I should have been looking at this whole time. We done Indiana, we done Illinois, done Tennessee. West Virginia, it's a little bit too far east. I doubt that we have a proximity close to home with West Virginia, but we can give it a shot here. Let's see. Not too many guys out of West Virginia. Just one 4-star tight end. So, yeah, really not. It kind of sucks because WKU is in that just hard recruiting ground where we don't really have too many of these guys. We could try Missouri again. I doubt that we're going to be we might not have great proximity close to home there, but might as well give it a shot. It's easier with the schools in Texas and Florida and places like that where they play a lot of football because they have because there's going to be more guys there. Yeah, here playing time we have. So why? Oh, he locked us out because he's already picked his top. So yeah, all these guys, deal breaker, brand exposure. Yeah, I mean all these guys. See, we're proximate. We're not even close to Missouri, so C plus. That's not good. So yeah, with these guys, it's just kind of rough because we just don't have the proximity, the close to home, which is kind of going to be the biggest one. I mean, there are guys, theoretically we could find the sorry about that. There's guys we could find in the 4-star guys that maybe want playing time. Would be the biggest thing. I don't think you can search by that. Like, is he a playing time? Proximity to home, Georgia. So maybe, let's see. But see how Georgia's already recruiting him pretty high. I don't really want to battle with that. I don't want to battle with, University of Georgia going at some of these guys. But if we just go down this list, guys that'd be interested in us. A-minus Park. So Virginia, we have a pretty good proximity to home. Maybe that's the next thing we look at. Maryland going at him. Maybe we compete with Maryland, but that's not really one I want to be taken on right now. Maryland's really the only school. It's hard to compare Maryland and Western. Maybe we add him. Let's go ahead and add him. What's the worst that can happen? We got the points anyway, or I call them points. They're ours. Keep going down. Reese here. SMU. He's already pretty high up there in SMU. I don't really know if we want to battle that. It's hard to tell with some of these school size. If it was like a big SEC school, with Georgia, it's easy to be like, no, we don't really need to be going at that. Playing style he likes, but yeah, I'm not going to battle with Miami. Like some of these big schools, you just, I think, have to be kind of careful. Like you don't want to be getting into recruiting battles with big Power 5 schools because you're just never going to win. Ohio State, see, no shot there. Ham. See, a lot of these schools are in the middle. Georgia's not really going after him, so maybe we throw him on there. Just give him a shot, kind of. But we're kind of getting down here, Georgia. See, Georgia's way too high there. I'm not battling with Georgia over that. This is interesting because theoretically maybe we can compete with a North. I believe that's NC State. For For him, proximity to home, we have pretty good. Virginia Tech, Clemson's not really going at him yet. So maybe we can compete with that. We'll throw him on the board. Griggs, Mississippi State's kind of going at him. We'll probably not going to be able to compete with them. See, this is another interesting one. Georgia Tech and Kansas. This guy, what's his 6'5"? Maybe he's a tight end or receiver. So some of these I'm just kind of throwing on the board for now. We probably won't really. I mean, yeah, like some of these guys we're just not. We're kind of getting near the end of the 4 stars anyway. But I'm just trying to get as many 4 stars as possible that we have a shot at. That's kind of strategy I'm thinking here. Is start off just looking at these 4 stars and going after as many as we can see. We got a right guard here, kind of getting pursued by Arizona. That's probably bigger. Somebody we probably don't want to get into too much. Washington here, that might not be the end of the world. We have a lot of receivers though, so it's not really top of our board. Pittsburgh, I'm not really. Yeah, Pittsburgh actually. Let's go back. Was there anybody else? Penn State a little bit. I don't know if I really want to, risk, with Penn State. And I might be not really doing this right, but for now, we're gonna keep on doing this strategy and see if it works. Trying to get it. Here we go. So here's our 4 stars. So looking at here, Maryland's kind of gone at test at Tabor. Do we want to get in with Maryland? Maybe not. Georgia. Looks like Georgia's kind of got at him, so I don't really know if I want to get in too much with Georgia. Maybe for now we just kind of keep it. NC State's like this might be one we might want to go try because, I mean, we have the points, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and offer these guys scholarships, and then we'll kind of see, as they narrow stuff down, if we... Where were we with him, with speed? Purdue, why are we not sending the house on him right now? Because... I guess it's because, no one's really going at him. I'm going to go ahead and send the house on him. Should we scout him first? No, let's just go ahead and send the house. I think that's safe for now. Let's see what else some of these other guys. I mean, some of these guys might log us out too, so that's not the end of the world. There's just not much action on him, so I'm gonna go ahead, send in the offer. Just kind of see what it comes back. 35 hours to spare. We can just do some scouting here. I think we scouted all of our 3 stars, which is the most important thing, I think, to be scouting because we want to make sure. But we can go ahead and just use, since we got the hours, we can just kind of use them to scout some of these guys. I mean, we're probably not even have enough for one. So, yeah, that's good for now. But, yeah, definitely we're in good shape. We have, already a bunch of these 4 stars that were already first on their board, which is good, So, but the goal, I think, for me is in recruiting, we just want to get as many of these 4 stars as possible. And then hope that, we land a few, and then we'll use the rest trying to get 3 stars to fill out the positions we need. Because right now, if we look at the guys that we're first on their board, we have a receiver, we have a right guard, 2 positions. Unfortunately, he's, a bust, but that's okay. He'll still be a halfback. That's good. He's also 19th at his position. That's pretty good. State rank, he's number 2. We have, I think, 2. So we have 2 halfbacks. That's pretty good though. We can maybe convert one of those guys, possibly to receivers. If one of them, yeah, he's a receiving back. So maybe he's a dominant rough. He got 90 speed. So that's pretty good. But yeah, for now I think that's pretty good for recruiting wise, and we'll kind of keep it at that. Keep checking in. Again, it'll be a few weeks, and we'll have to hopefully see those green check marks coming in. And all that, and then with that we'll be able to do more recruiting and stuff, and be able to give some hard sells and stuff to some of those guys. But for now, I think what we're going to do is probably go ahead and jump into jump into our first game here against Alabama. All right, we're going to be playing at the Tide in Tuscaloosa, a tough environment to go into. Definitely an interesting schedule for WKU this year. But let me go ahead and hit the fan on real quick. But here we go. First game of the year. Maybe we can pull off the upset of the century. Definitely, if I learned anything from previous gameplay and Heisman, we don't want to let them be making big special teams plays, and we don't want to be giving the ball up. We can't be affording us to keep causing or giving them takeaways, because they're gonna just absolutely crush us if we do that. We had 2 interceptions in that first gameplay. That lady has an arm in her armpit, or a hand growing out of her armpit. That was a little freaky. I don't know what they're putting in the water in Tuscaloosa, but we need to keep an eye out on that. But here we go. These are going to start with the ball. Where do you think my camera should be? You think we should maybe go top left? I might look a little more visually pleasing. I don't know, though. If I got a receiver stricken down the field, I don't know if all we're doing is really covering my record. So maybe it's not the end of the world. Kind of sucks that I got it where my face cam's on. But let's go. All right, there we go. First play, rush of 2. Definitely want to make sure we keep doing a lot of that. I think our game plan on defense here, especially in this game, is going to be keeping Dak in our, cover 3, especially maybe some cover 4, keeping that ball in front of us as we get a stop there, making it 3rd and short. Can we get a big stand by our defense here, get off the field? The motto of Western Kentucky last season was bend but don't break, and they're going to get a first down right there. Keeping that ball on the ground this first drive for the University of Alabama. In this game, that bend but don't break, good motto. Definitely for WKU, though, we don't want to be having that this year. We need to be a better team than we were last year defensively, especially against the run. We were not good at all against the run last year, and it killed us in a lot of games. But for now, let's see if we can make some big stops and at least not give them 6. Oh, as they get a pass over the middle. Jalen Milroe completes his first pass of the season. Stay back in our coverage. Try to make some plays here. Dang. We really do need to be making some plays here. We're going to stick to our coverage. Oh, man. This is a tough first week of the year coming out here. Especially for a team like Western. I do think it's interesting. As a fan, you're like, wow, we get to play Alabama. That's pretty cool. Western is a team where I think if they're playing their style of football, they can keep up with anyone. And as a fan, from the outside, you're like, week 1 might not be the worst week in the world to be playing a team like Alabama, because, coming out of the camp, you're not on a roll, you're not in the thick of the season yet, you're just coming out, kind of maybe you're thinking a little cold, as Jalen Miller's going to go ahead and take that one in for a score. Not what we wanted to see here on this first drive. Unfortunately, a lengthy drive there, too. Took a lot of time off the clock. We definitely, TJ Hilton has got to come in here, and we got to get something done on the offense right off the bat. Hopefully we can sustain a good drive. There's our star players that we got for us. As the transfer, TJ Finley comes out in this tough Alabama crowd right now, and that's about the start that you would expect playing University of Alabama. That is not good right there at all. Yeah, that's a rough start right there. That's not what we wanted to see out of the transfer quarterback that we got. This is not looking like it's going to be a pretty game for us. All right. Maybe we can get a stop here. And no, we can't. Well, this is not going the way. Maybe to no one's surprise, but this is not going the way we want. We definitely want to, if anything, at this point, start taking some positives out of this game. We can't afford too many negatives. Just some stuff we can look back on. Get into the film room during the week and correct. Or look at, more so less correct and more look at and see some stuff that we can continue to build on. All right, so let's go ahead. TJ Finley is absolutely, frazzled right now. Let's see if we can get the run game going. And we're just getting popped. This is not a pretty sight. We're seeing just an absolute massacre there in the first week in Tuscaloosa as the fans are bopping to the Mo Bamba like we're playing in a dang tsunami here. All right, but nice catch there by I believe that was Matheson. Just short of first down. I think we're going to put this in the hands of Elijah Young. See if we can follow our pulling guard, and we're just short. But I think we continue to go for this. Run a little inside zone. Continue to follow our trusty left guard. Can we get it? We cannot. Went for the gamble. Did not pay off. This is definitely not the start that we wanted to this game. Not too many bright spots. The run game's not working. They're absolutely killing us in the time of possession. I mean, if you just look at like all the stars they have on the field, I mean, we have one, maybe two on offense, and they have 4 just on their O-line. I mean, yeah, that's when this was a rough start. The good news is, as they get another touchdown, 21 points in this first quarter for Alabama. Jeremy Bernard catching that ball for them there. I'm going to move this camera real quick. It's kind of bothering me. Move it up here to the top left. All right. Who knows? Maybe that'll be the change we need to see somehow. A little more visually pleasing will help psychologically with decision making. All right, come on here. Come on, TJ Finley. Let's see what you got. You're no longer rattled because we're down by so much, but that's okay. Let's just get this ball out. Just get some yards. There we go. There we go. See, it's just football. That's all. Take the atmosphere out. I'll just see some positives, all right? And we can get the run game jump started. Nope. We can definitely, like last year's run game, as the quarter is going to wind down. Maybe we can get one more playoff if we like the look. Now, let's go ahead and wind this down. Definitely not the first quarter we wanted here. But there's a lot of game left to play. Let's see. Looking at the stats, it's not good. 7 yards on the ground, 14 through the air. Definitely not the start we wanted here. But we do have a lot of game left to play. Let's just simplify the playbook here. Get Finley some easy completions here. There we go. Get the screen game working. Nice, good 10-yard completion there for our first down. keep it nice and easy. We don't need to overcomplicate any of this. Look for what's there, and if it's not there, don't try to force it. And as soon as I say that, we try to force something that's not there. This is not a good look. The one thing we said we can't do in this game, and we're just throwing the ball everywhere. This is Matthews, I feel like, is checking in for the first time this game. Oh, and he almost made the play. I do want to see more Matthews in as Sebastian Benjamin there makes the play. I need to start looking, too, at who's making these plays. That way, you know, we can start highlighting them. Matthews is definitely a guy, as a fan, I'm excited about. There's been a lot of talk about him as a transfer. He's in the game, he's got good speed. That's what I noticed that first play I played with him. I'm definitely going to want to see him. See, not on the field now. He was on 2 straight plays, though, so maybe he's getting some rest here. But he's a guy, hopefully, can... Oh, Jesus, Jalen Milroe absolutely fools that Upton Stout. Can't contain the edge there. Almost got off the field there. Maybe it's when I play this zone coverage that he's not a... Oh, man. They continue to move it down the field on us. Another run play. There we go. Tackle. That might be a tackle for loss there. Let's see if we can get a big third down stop here. Force them to a field goal. Keep it a 3-score game. This could be a really big stop for our defense here. They look like they're going to go to the ground, and they're going to get it down to the 1-yard line. Well, this is not going like we had hoped. As we send the blitz there, and we get a nice stop behind the line of scrimmage. We can continue making some plays here. Do we continue to send the house? No, they're going to go in empty. I think we're just going to have to trust our man. Oh, 2-minute warning there. An interesting, that's an interesting change of college football that we're getting there with a 2-minute warning. All right, I think we got to stick on our man coverage as they get it there, and Matthews can't make the tackle before he finds his Justice Haynes, slips his way into the end zone as they're going to go up 28-0 with 2 minutes left to play in the half. A slaughter in Tuscaloosa. Wow. Tuscaloosa, easy for me to say. Good news is, unlike last time, we're not getting kick returned by Forrest Gump. All right, TJ Finley, let's see some positives. The thing I do need to get down is a throwing meter. Maybe there's an easier thing. I still kind of haven't quite, especially on... There we go. Hit it that time. Need to get used to this throwing meter. I don't know if it's different for all the quarterbacks. That probably changes with the difficulty too, I would guess. So, I've only played a couple games on the Heisman, and I'm sure, starting against Alabama is not the easiest thing to do. As there's yet another interception, and he's going to take this one to the house. This is Jihad Campbell. There's an interesting name. Do we consider making a quarterback change? Maybe. Last time I played this game, but I'm pretty sure Finley's going to start off. The only reason I think at this point I make that change is more so to just not kill Finley's confidence. And at this point, I don't know if I'm too, who knows, it would kill his confidence more to pull him out of the game. Let's just put this, there we go. Something positive going. Good run there by Elijah Young. Hopefully we can get the run game jump-started this season. Easton Messer with a catch there for 4 yards. Really not too much going on. in this offense. There we go. Get some room underneath. Minute 14 left. Maybe we start running some hurry-ups. You know, Western's definitely a team that uses their hurry-up offense throughout the game. I don't think we need to start using these timeouts quite yet. We still got a minute left, and we get clock stoppage with first downs. Oh, River Helms comes up with a big catch there. Not a great accuracy ball, but River Helms, you know, a guy we're definitely going to have to work on incorporating more in this offense because he can make a big difference for us. Comes up big there. Can we hit him again on the out route? Fortunately not going to come up with that, but that's okay. It'll stop the clock. Let's see. These slant routes have not been working out too well, so let's go ahead and keep it. Maybe try to hit Young on this Texas route. Oh, no. Wrong button, but okay. That meant to go out to that. What do we do here? Here's what I'm thinking. We're in field goal range. We should be in field goal range. You know, that field goal might not be an easy one here, but let's just go ahead and just not risk anything too much as hopefully, 4th and inches. That's going to leave us with an interesting decision here. Maybe we have some type of QB sneak. QB blast. Here we go. QB sneak on 4th and inches. 6'7". This is where it might come into handy, folks. Did he get it? Yes, he did. That's where it comes into handy to have a 6'7" quarterback. 34 seconds on the clock. Coach is not looking like he really wants us to take too many shots. Oh, there we go. Though we got Matson over the middle. Let's go ahead and take a timeout right there. 22 seconds left. Good clock management. I know the clock stops on the first down, but take some time and let's talk about this play. Oh, those wasn't coach suggestion. That was a run. That makes more sense. Now we can, thinking about this, we can't afford to put this ball on the ground because we have 2 timeouts. So I'm thinking right here, 1st and goal, let's just go ahead and put this ball on the ground. Oh, that was not the right decision. See, I should have made an RPO because then it's asking me what I want to do there. So that was on me. We definitely should have just went with a straight inside zone kind of run there and less with an option style. Let's see, what are we going to have here? Oh no, missed him. Had Matson streaking, but also had pressure coming down. 3rd and goal. Maybe try a shot at the end zone here. But we definitely don't need any jump balls or something like that. Maybe we can get a little slant route here. Maybe find Dalvin Smith open. No, he's going to drop back in coverage. Just kind of hit Matson. He's not going to catch it. But that's all right. We should be at this point now, at least to get points on the board. Good kick. It's up and it's good. Canario, I believe it is. Carnero, however you pronounce it. Gets us on the board with 3, so at least we are not getting shut out in this first half. Make sure we get a good kickoff coverage here. And we should be heading into the half. 2 seconds, so probably keep this ball on the ground, I would guess. Nope, gonna go ahead and take a knee. All right. So, looks like we're heading in the half down. We did get some points on the board. Saw some light at the end of the tunnel there with a good end of the half drive led by TJ Finley. I think I'm going to keep him in the game. Hopefully get some of those stats up. Maybe he can throw a touchdown. You know, he's thrown 3 picks in the first half. That's not good. But a lot of this might just be we kind of need to settle down. You know, take some deep breaths and come back and get, you know, I'm not going to say we're going to come back into this game, but again, just look for some bright spots, something we can build off moving forward. So, we'll come out with the offense back. Hopefully we can capitalize on some of that momentum that we left off with after that big drive. Not really a fan of going with the RPOs right now. I think their D-line is just too fast. And those decisions are just going to be made too difficult. So we'll probably just kind of keep traditional, kind of just getting the ball out of our hands and trying to maybe slowly keeping that ground game getting a little bit. There we go, a pass to Elijah Young, keep it at third and short, or 3rd and 4, I guess, depending on who you ask, that's 3rd and short. See if this mesh concept, we can get anybody open. Oh, come on. Oh, incomplete there. I think we got to punt it that far back. Not a great pass there. Had, I think, the other mesh crosser coming open there if we would have been a little bit more patient with the ball. And now we'll bring the defense back out. I do want to figure out how. Excuse me. We have Lynch coming in at this linebacker spot, and I prefer it to be Matthews should be our starting middle linebacker. So is he not maybe our sub linebacker or something? But we got, who did I say? See, now I'm even forgetting. Let's see, Lynch all the way down here, or right outside line. Maybe is that what it is? Is he, because he's our backup left outside linebacker? Is that the reason that he's coming in? Or maybe is he our number 1 sub backer? Let's check that real quick. So Lynch is our sub backer, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm going to put Matthews in there at the sub linebacker. I'd rather have him kind of moving there than I would Lynch. There we go. So now Matthews coming again. He's probably going to be my user most of the year. Gurdy also, hope maybe try to get him in on some plays. Oh gosh, as we just absolutely whiff on him. We just not looking good right now. Jalen Milroe is absolutely picking our defense apart. I wouldn't even say it's picking our defense apart. That was more just a lack of being able to make a play. Oh, nice break up there. We closed on that one nicely. Get a few more stops here. Hopefully just holding the 3 here. Oh, see again with the missed tackles. But it is 3rd down. So we stop him short. My guess is they're going to try to put this back on the ground. Hopefully we can fill up the gaps. Make a good play here. Oh, as we can, and our linebacker gets absolutely pancaked as yet again Justice Haynes finds his way into the end zone. Well, I don't know what the plus minus was, but I definitely would have been favoring if you had the Alabama plus minus. My guess would be you probably hit. I don't know though. College football is funny nowadays. Sometimes you literally see games, I feel like it's plus 40. So we're not quite there yet. So who knows what the odd maker said, but and it ain't over yet. Maybe we can get on the board, but not running the ball like that. We're not going to get back on the board. Looks like man coverage here. Oh, well played man coverage, but we do make the catch. Coming back out here. Oh, Matheson. And 4th one, we can't quite find our way past those sticks. We're always coming right down to them. Can't quite make it. As can we make the catch there? Good catch by Matheson there. Kind of been our one pretty reliable receiver today. Let's move this over to the left side. Maybe we can catch an edge here. Oh, and it looks like this might be coming back. So that one's going to come back on a holding call. About right for the way this game has gone so far. There we go. They're keeping everything in front of them at this point, but it's a smart way to play. Let's try to get, and never mind, we got another holding call. 2 in a row. Colton Cable called this time for the holding call. 1st and 30. Man, we're just, nothing is coming up WKU today. And that one is inaccurate, too far for Madsen there. I mean, we just need something. I don't know what, but maybe that's what we needed right there. Our number 1 receiver coming up with a big play there. Maybe the biggest completion in the game there. Dalvin Smith on the reception. Brings us to a 3rd and manageable. Maybe River Helms can get us there. He can. Nice catch, as that's what we want to see out of TJ Finley right there, getting us out of binds. You know, we had a 3rd and forever after 2 dumb holding penalties, and he's able to get us back to that 1st down marker. So that's definitely what we wanted to see out of him. Elijah Young taking an absolute beating in this game. That's another thing what to keep looking at in this game. Big thing is, you know, you don't want to be running too much. You got to be watching the health of your running back, because we don't want him, you know, getting seriously hurt or something as the games progress. River Helms crossing over the middle. Can he get us that 1st down? Oh, his knee is just short. At this point in the game, I think we're much safer, or not safer, but it's just smarter to keep that offense on the field. These 4th down situations later in the year are going to be really important. Go ahead and get some practice in now. We are starting to be better. Rush game still hasn't been there. We actually do have more yards through the air, and a little bit more the possession time. We're definitely holding on to the ball a little bit more. We've seen in the second half some bright spots. You know, there's definitely been some bad, but here's a big play right here. We got him with the slants. Maybe we go keep this on the ground. I think we put this. Let's give Sanders a shot here. Can he make the 1st down marker? He can. Good run there coming in for, I think, his 1st carry, LT Sanders, who I don't even think is our backup right now. So interesting that he would get the call there. Maybe he's our backup 3rd down back, as we're going to find a receiver there. And oh, hold on a minute. I didn't even realize that we made a quarterback. Vetcamp is in the game. I don't quite sure why Veltkamp is in the game, but folks, we have made a quarterback change. Maybe as we went into the 4th quarter, we made that change, and I just didn't realize it. I guess because we're down enough, coach decided that it's just better to be giving new guys some reps. So that's going to fall incomplete. Let's go ahead and give our kicker another chance here. You know, you want to put points on the board, but we also want to be giving our kicker, you know, that one's going to definitely be a miss, though. Carnero, heavy pull on that one. Unfortunately, it'll fall way short and way pulled, as our linebackers are just... I mean, Jalen Milroe might as well be David Blaine the way he's tricking these linebackers and playing minds games with them right now. We're falling for everything, as they're going to just put this chew clock on, keep this ball on the ground, and try to get out of here. But great hit there. There we go. Lynch. Devin Lynch. You know, I've been talking about how, you know, we are a little thin at linebacker right now. You know, we lost a lot of guys in the portal this past off season and after last season. So, you know, we brought in some younger guys, but overall, you know, the guys we do have are just not as progressed and new to the system. So we are a little slim at linebacker. Hopefully in recruiting we can bring in, I don't remember there being any of those 4-star guys being linebackers, but hopefully we can bring in some good young guys, and hopefully these guys we have can progress pretty well. Matthews, I know, is a transfer. We got some young guys, some recruits that we have, or some commits we have. As like, here's oh my gosh, an incredible punt there. Dang, it does not get much better than that. Pins us on the one, basically on the inch, and yeah, we're definitely not gonna want to be, as I think what we're going to do now, we can get some passes in here, but we're not going to be running no hurry up. We just want to get out of this game without hurting too many people's morale or anything. Just giving some of these underneath passes and calling it a day. Overall, this was not really, you don't come in this game with aspirations of really winning, as that'll probably do it. As the clock will wind down to the final score, Alabama 42, Western Kentucky 3. Yeah, again, there were some bright spots there, but on the Heisman difficulty, that's never going to be a win. Big game for Justice Haynes on the ground, averaged about 6 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns, a hat trick. So, let's go ahead and look at. Whoops. I want to look at the stats. There we go. So we look at our stats here. We just want to go to our stats. TJ Finley, 87.7, QB rating 17 for 27, 62% completion isn't bad, 151 yards. Did have 3 picks and did not get a touchdown. Velkamp came in 3 for 5, 17 yards. Really didn't see too much of him. But he'll be a trusty guy, if something is to happen. As far as receiving, reading receiver was Elijah Young. Matheson came up clutch in a lot of situations, though. He had a good, he had some good catches there. River Helms as well had some good catches. And then Dalvin Smith with the one big reception of the game. Defensively, DeMarco Williams made the most of our tackles, which whenever you have a safety who's making tackles, that's the defensive coordinator's worst nightmare. Devontae Matthews, our other safety, was also our other leader, one of our leaders in tackling, so that's not good. Tackle for losses, though, Sebastian Benjamin racked up a couple tackles for losses, that's good. Chandler Matthews had one. Guidry had one. And so did Devin Lynch. We had no sacks, no interceptions. Overall on defense, not too much going on there. As we'll go ahead and call it, I guess this is if you're wondering what's going on right now, I got my face cam here in the top left, which means I cannot see where the kind of end game button is. Give me a second and I'll move this face cam and then we can hold on. Return to the hub. There we go. All right, yeah. So, rough look there, first week of the year, but, I think, not too surprising, playing Alabama, it was going to be a rough go either way. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and look into our next week here, where I believe we have an FCS opponent should be next, like an FCS, whatever it is. Yeah, Midwest is who we'll play. So, and that'll be our first home game of the year. This will probably be, the end of one of the YouTube episodes. So, just for the sake of the YouTube video, if you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go subscribe on Twitch. If you're on Twitch right now, make sure you do the opposite. Go to YouTube and subscribe, and make sure you are already subscribed on Twitch. But yeah, all these be cut down in episodes and put on YouTube hopefully here pretty soon. And yeah, so what we're looking at now is next week we'll have FCS Midwest. And yeah, as far as for the stream right now, I think what we're going to do, let's see, because I do want to get in some of that gameplay, that beer gameplay. So I'm deciding now if I want to play one more game and then, go off for a little bit and then come back, because that makes it easier for editing too. I'll just be gone for 20 minutes, probably nothing longer than that. Just, maybe get a little something to eat, something like that, and then come back and and then start, or if I just want to kind of go ahead right now. I think what I'm going to do, I think we can go ahead and jump into one more game right now. Um, so what we'll do is I'll go ahead and probably keep that first episode and try to include it'll be a longer episode on YouTube and keep that first game there. So it'll be the recruiting and the first game, and then the second episode will be the second game. Maybe I won't cut it like that, but that's kind of what I'm probably thinking right now. But with that being said, let's go ahead and look into our recruiting for the start of the second week. Look at some of these guys and where they're at. So with all that being said, Setterstrom, let's sort it by national rank, so all our 4-stars will pop up first. Let's look at some of these guys that, we don't really, aren't really on their board right now. So we offered Tabor. Really, the only school going at is Maryland. So then, whether we want to compete with Maryland. For Murphy, no one's really going at him. He is a 4-star. He's a diamond in the rough, though, a receiver. We already have, that's probably a tight end. We already have don't we already have a receiver? We only have one 4-star receiver, I believe, who right now, we could go at King, but Murphy might be the easier play just because no one is going at him right now. So we could offer Murphy. I think we are going to go with Murphy. Hold on a minute. Why can we not? Oh, we've already offered him. Okay, so we've offered him, but I think what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and send the house with him. I think we'll be able to jump up him. Hopefully none of those other teams will go at him. Let's look at some of our other 4-stars for now. Tabor, we can finish scouting him real quick. We don't really want to use a ton. Oh, and that's good for us. We like that. Now, if we look at him, we'd have to compete with Maryland to get him. And that's kind of where we're at an interesting impasse here. Do we want to compete with Maryland? Because none of those other schools are really moving. They're not really. Maryland's the only one showing a ton of interest in him. Let's look at some of these other guys. Kevin Locke, we've taken a huge lead on. Murphy, we just sent the house on. Ham, George is kind of the one on him. I think we might have to scrub him off the board. George is not gaining on him, but they are a little bit, which makes me think they have progressed him a little bit. Here we got King right now, Virginia Tech and North Carolina State are both going at him. I don't know if we're going to be able to compete with. We might be able to compete with those guys. I don't know. Hooks were definitely way far in the lead. Setterstrom were very far in the lead. That's good. Speed, we just fell under Purdue at this point, so let's go ahead and look. Unfortunately, we have sent a house on him, but unfortunately we only have one of his green check marks right now. It's still going to be maybe a little bit until we can get some more of those, so we're going to have to wait on him right now. So maybe we just use these points that we have left, and we choose either. We have 80 points left, and I think with the rest of these guys, none of them we're going to have. So we do have 3 green check mark on Kevin Locke, so that's good, which means we can take off the send the house, and we can go ahead and hard sell him. Pitches will become available once the recruit has narrowed down. Okay, so my bad. You can't do that until he narrows down to his top 5. Okay, that makes more sense. So we got to wait till these guys narrow down into their top 5. A lot of them, we do have Hooks is kind of close. So we want to make sure we're in these guys' top 5. So I think what we're going to do with these points then is we're just going to try to get into these guys' top 5. Most of them we should be pretty good. If we look at some of our 3 stars, DeMarco's a guy we definitely want. Let's see where we are with him. We're in the lead, kind of getting there with Boston College, but we're in his top 5. Do we have his check marks? We only have one, unfortunately. Now we could take a guess, you know, but I think for now what we do is we hold off. We could schedule a visit, and we could schedule. We're gonna have to schedule a visit over the bye. We could schedule him a visit. He's definitely one we want. Um, we can't give. I don't want to give him the hard sell yet because we don't quite have his other areas. We only have one, the pro potential. So let's go ahead and we'll schedule his visit though. And what he gonna do? We know he likes pro potential, so we'll sell him on meeting the alumni because we know that's something that he definitely wants, and we're a little bit lower on. So we'll do that. But we don't have anything else there. None of these guys. McDonald, let's see him because he's definitely one as we're getting up there past Purdue. We have 2 of his check marks, still not quite one more. We cannot schedule a visit with him yet because he's not. I mean, he hasn't even narrowed down his top 8, but he's not even quite down to his. Fisher has knocked us out, so we go ahead and take him off the board. Stevenson, we're number 1. So that's pretty good for now. We do have 40 points left, which kind of stinks because we don't have the 50 to do a hard sell on why any of these guys. Maybe we shouldn't have used that. Using that recruiting was kind of, or the scouting was pretty dumb. We shouldn't have done that. Because what I wanted to do was do a hard sell on either Tabor or Ham or King. So let's see, what do we want to do here? Because we only have 50 on some of these guys, and we can't take away scholarships that we've offered. Interesting. What do we do? Man. We might be able to wait another week. I mean, let's see. We could just kind of use. Right now, we're in a hard sell with Murphy. We could take that away. But Murphy, because he's at, do we think. So here's the thing. Do we take away Murphy's hard sell and give it to Tabor? He's a defensive tackle. He's a receiver. We already have Locke that we're kind of doing really well on as a receiver, and we don't really have a defensive tackle, I don't think, in our 4 stars. So do we take that away and maybe go to Tabor instead, who's also a diamond in the rough, and maybe see if we can beat out Maryland? I'm thinking that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and take away the send the house on Murphy and instead put it on Tabor. Hopefully we can jump into his schools and compete with Maryland, at least get into his top 8. 40 hours left. Maybe we look at some of these 3 stars. Hopefully maybe find a diamond in the rough. All these guys were on the board. A right guard we are in need. He was second on his board. Let's go ahead and throw him on there. A receiver, center, we're not really in need of. We also want to make sure we're looking at this. He's almost down to his top 5, but we can definitely compete with Memphis. Let's go ahead and add McLeod. Maryland, he's pretty set on Maryland. Don't really need quarterbacks. There's no 4 stars down here, just kind of 3 stars, yeah. Corner, we might even need a corners. Go ahead and add Okoro. Oh no, we had Okoro, my bad. We had scouted him and we knew that he wasn't great. Let's go and make sure that none of these other guys we had scouted and had known before. Do I really want to scroll all the way down here? Let's keep it at interest. I think that's smart. So we got all these games coming down here. 2 stars. Let's make sure we're getting 3. We can put Keenan on. I don't know. He's so far on Maryland though. I think he's kind of basically foregone. I don't think we really need. They're not too big of a need of a center. Don't really need a quarterback, corner. But we already scouted him. He was kind of the boss, so we don't really need that. Don't really need a quarterback. Let's go ahead and add Colombo. He's at Basson College, but maybe we could compete with that for now. We're only 8th, but let's go ahead and take a look at some of these guys that we added now to our board. Oh, wait, he's a 2-star. We can go ahead and take it off. We're not really interested in the 2 stars right now. Scouted, McClellan, Colombo, we're number 8. He just narrowed down to his top 8. So let's go ahead. Do we just offer? I don't know. Maybe we scout first. So this is where it gets a little bit rough. Here's what we need to do. I don't know why I didn't do this before. We didn't use our points. Let's go ahead and upgrade our skills. And go to our recruiting. And in that way, what are the positions we're going to need? O-line is definitely going to be an important one. So let's add the top 2 in O-line. We can add linebackers, a position we'll need, and I think that's good. That's all our points for now. Go back to recruiting. We still have, 40 points. There's 40 points left. So we either offer these guys scholarships, which we can't take away, and hope that we'll jump up on their board. Like we added Adkins, offered him a scholarship, but he's pretty far from his top 8. So I say what we do is let's go ahead and use as much as we can, and we'll just scout him. All right, so he's a pure 3-star. We can go ahead and offer him, a scholarship. We'll probably jump up on his board. Colombo, where's he? He's pretty set on Boston College. We kind of just snuck into his top 8. I think for now we're going to call it at that. I don't really think I want to offer any of these guys scholarships, the 3 stars, without scouting them. And the 4s, we could offer. We didn't really add any 4s, did we? All the 4s kind of already have scholarship offers. So I think that'll do it for the scouting for this week. Hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll have more guys with those 3 check marks, and we can start hard selling them to get them closer to coming to Western. But with all that said, let's go ahead and jump into our last game of the night. Probably our last game of the night. I mean, we'll see how much, of the Road to Glory we do and how that goes. But for now, let's go ahead and jump in. We got FCS Midwest. In real life, I wonder who, because obviously I can't put the FCS teams in here. I wonder who WKU is playing. I haven't looked at their schedules. They're playing Eastern Kentucky on this day. And then we have the 100 Miles of Hay rivalry the next week against MTSU. So what kind of uniforms we got? We got the red and the black. I like that. I wish they would put the new helmets in, though, with the different positions that WKU added last year. That would be kind of cool. But here we are. The Hooch, L.T. Smith Hotchins Stadium, coming out of the tunnel. I will say it's pretty cool watching this, seeing the new game, especially for somebody that went to, not a huge college. This looks like maybe we got a whiteout, or maybe that's their color, so it's like the visiting stands, yeah. But the detail that went into this game is pretty cool. Like, my first game I played with Western when I loaded up the game, and you'll notice, like, I'll kind of point them out. I mean, the stadium, compared to, like, NCAA 14 looks, look, you can see the bell tower in the back and the trees and even, like, the fence and then the water tower over on the left. It's pretty cool how much detail they put into, into this game. River Helms, the player profile for this game. But here comes back out TJ Finley after a rough week 1 against Alabama. Seeing if he can make some improvements, and we can gawk at it here with a win in week 1. Unfortunately, not going to get there done much there in the run game to start the game with Elijah Young. But let's see what we can get going. We don't want to force anything here. Just kind of take what the defense gives us. Easton Messer with the first reception of the game for a nice little 5-yard reception. We trusted in the screens against Alabama, and they were fairly successful. Let's see if we can go back to the screen game here. Drop off there, follow the offensive line, and that's going to be a first down right there as another injury for FCS Midwest. They're getting beat up here in the early going. A lot of press coverage they're running here, so maybe at some point look for those down the field throws, but for now we're finding Mattson over the middle. That's going to be about a 14, 15-yard game as TJ Finley is feeling it right now. Maybe we try a little read option here, reading that man on the end of the line of scrimmage. He's going to make the pull. River Helms misses the block that would have sprung. Heck, man, if River Helms would have kept going to make that block as they suffer another injury, man. If he would have made that block, we would have maybe could have caught in that edge and had a big play there. But we got to keep moving forward in this game. So they're going to do a big shift here, moving that safety down. Oh, no, bad throw, but it doesn't matter. Good catch by Mattson. Good adjustment there. Last week that might have been a pick, but today it's good for a first down. Let's try a little halfback stretch. Maybe we can get this ball to the edge. Elijah Young, good run there. Can't quite get the edge on him. Maybe he could have gone in for 6, but nonetheless still a good run as we're having a good first drive. Most important thing right now is just keep that ball. Protect that ball. We do not want to be giving away the ball after sustaining drives like that. That's a good catch by Mattson to get us that first down. Keep this ball moving. Let's see if we can split these safeties. Maybe a cover 2 here. Maybe we can split them with River Helms here. This looks like a zone coverage. Dangerous throw there by Finley. Nonetheless, it falls incomplete. Because I think we got to keep this ball through the air. Let's see what we're going to have here. Nice little hitch route. Knock this down to a 3rd and 5. The difference between 3 and 7 here. Let's do some adjustments on this play. Sends Mattson on a slant here. Give to Alvin Smith. Maybe a shot. Oh, good break up there by the corner. And I think we settle for 3 here. I think that's the smart thing. Just put some points on the board. And he'll nail that through. So on the first drive, we go down the field, 11 plays, a couple minutes for a 65-yard drive, and we end up with 3. Good sustained drive there. Obviously, would prefer to finish that in the end zone. But a lot of positives coming out of that. It's good to be on the board first compared to last week. Just good to get some momentum back. We can't be falling in a slump. Looking at their guys, looks like they're halfback, 78 overall. Not good for us because we have been notoriously bad in the run game. But this home crowd will hopefully motivate our guys on defense to a victory if there's a decent run there. And we have another FCS Midwest injury. Definitely the game's still a little buggy. I'll say that. The injuries are a little buggy. I've heard people say the penalties are a little buggy. I haven't seen too much personally. I know we had those holding calls last game, but those were as an incomplete pass falls there. If they're your FCS Midwest, you need to catch that ball. But overall, not too bad there. Great stop on that 3rd down. That's Anthony Johnson Jr. there coming in, or was that? I can't remember. I couldn't say. I don't think that was Anthony Johnson Jr., but if it was, whoever it was, great tackle there for a loss to make them punt the ball and give our offense the ball back and hopefully a chance to extend our lead. Oh, broken tackle. by, I believe, is that Matt? No, that's not Madison. We got there returning punts. I can't remember. I'm still learning a lot of the numbers. It's weird. Each college season, I feel like you have guys change numbers. You had all the transfers, everything, especially as smaller schools, it's hard to keep up with as much. Some of the bigger names I know a lot of guys that transferred out. Obviously, Finley was a big name coming in. But so hopefully as this progresses, I'll learn all these guys and know them a little better before the season starts. But with that being said, we have Madsen left wide open. Just taking what they give us here on that, playing that off coverage. Oh, a reverse pass here. Very interesting. Maybe we're going to go in kind of deep into the playbook. A little trick play here. As we go, can we find nice catch? Oh, no. Is this going to get called back? Do we have a man downfield? Oh, a pass interference call. So the call will stand. And we'll move the ball down into opponent's territory. The trick play by Jack Harbaugh called at the perfect time. As we get the ball off to Matheson as we continue to drive here. Let's get this ball, put this ball on the ground as I see a big gap there in the, I believe that's the 3-hole there. Can he get in for the first touchdown here? He can. Elijah Young pushing behind that left side of that O-line. It's so strong. You see that bell tower in the back. Big Red there celebrating. First touchdown of the year goes to Elijah Young on a little, 3-4 yard run. The senior. Pushing that pile into the end zone. Hopefully we get a big year at Elijah Young this year. That would really help the offenses. Will sneak that one through the goalpost. So there we go. Huge play. That's what we need. Keep that momentum rolling. Let's just go. We unfortunately, that Alabama game, it's a rough one to have at the beginning of the year. Interesting one to schedule. You pray for the upset. It would be awesome and it's something you can put in the history books. But fortunately, the result you're going to get is kind of the one we end up getting more often, which is, you kind of get absolutely crushed, and that can sometimes kill morale. So the best thing is what we're seeing here that you want to come out of this game, these first games hot. 96 passing yards and 17 rushing yards in the first half. First quarter. Maybe get that run game a little bit more involved and just, let TJ Finley continue to cook, just taking what the defense, especially on this Heisman mode, just taking what the defense is giving us. We'll do that all day long. As they're going to try to run some hurry up here, maybe try to catch us off guard. They're going to run some audible. Maybe they like what they're seeing in our coverage, but great play there by Devin Lynch, shedding the blocker and making the tackle for only a gain of 1. As again they're going to go to the run game, and Devin Lynch will miss there. The tackling is something I definitely got to get better at. Like, I saw that play, but they're going to continue with this tempo offense, a little WKU-esque. This was like Bailey Zappi. Austin Reed ran a little bit. Bailey Zappi ran a lot of tempo when he was at Western as a huge hit. It's going to be day there. So they'll go back. Let's maybe change up our coverage a little bit, go in a little cover 2 here. Play a little bit more underneath. As they're going to go to the ground, but great tackle there. I believe that was Anthony Johnson Jr. there on the tackle, coming up from his corner spot. You'd love to see that, a corner who's not afraid to come up and make a play. As they're going to keep a big play, too, as it's going to knock them to a 3rd down. Are they going to keep this ball on the ground? Maybe a reverse. They'll come back, fake the reverse, and pick up the 1st down. They continue to move in the rock. This tempo offense definitely has the defense, our defense, on their heels. So continue to move this ball. Maybe we can make some big hits here, jar a ball loose with as tired as some of their receivers and ball carriers are getting. As they're going to break off a big run there. Linebacker's not able to rally to that ball. Let's go ahead. Maybe we send a blitz here. Mix it up a little bit. I don't like the audible out of that. Let's go back. Sit back in our cover 3. Maybe a reverse here. Nope. We're going to do a little play action. And nice first sack of the year. That's going to be Hosea Wheeler getting to the backfield there. Picking up our first sack of the year. Setting up a 2nd and long. Hopefully get it. There we go. They're going to run. Oh, and again, we missed the play in the backfield. Could have been a shortstop, but still leaving up for the 3rd and long. As we look to make them stop the bend but not break, as they're going to get the ball, and we'll make a big stop here. 4th and 7. Make them have to settle for the field goal. Or maybe should have called a timeout there, but that's okay. Keep our timeouts where we can use them. Oh, he's going to be just wide as this first half shutout continues for our defense, and we get the ball on about the 20-yard line. Looking to make us. There's a big play here. Can Childress, big play. TJ Finley finding Childress on the deep pass. The speedster in the slot. No one was covering him. As we'll continue to move this ball down the field. We still have 3 timeouts. Plenty of time to work with. Looking for an option here. Oh, he's going to heave one. Almost intercepted. Dangerous throw there. Want to make sure we're keeping composed under here. Still have 3 timeouts, so we can use all the field here. As he's going to find over the middle, is that Childress again with another good completion. I don't think I want to use one of my timeouts here until we get under 30 seconds, and then I think it'll be fair enough that at that point we can start using our timeouts. Scramble out, looking for somebody, just throw that ball away. Nobody there, smart throw away there. Don't want to, be throwing any stupid passes at this point. Let's see if we can get the screen game working for us again like it was earlier and against Alabama last week, as he'll get a few. Elijah Young, just 4 yards on that one. 3rd and 6 coming up. Still have those 2 timeouts, so can use all of the field here. No one's open. Can Finley scramble out of the pocket? He's not going to escape, as what we'll probably end up doing is winding this clock down and taking a field goal in the last few seconds of the quarter to extend our lead to 13-0 heading into halftime. Finley's not the fastest guy in the world, but you'd probably expect that, being 6'7" like he is, he's not going to have the most speed to be able to escape, out of the pocket. Let's see if we can get this field goal. Not a good kick there. It's going to be wide left, and we'll go into the halftime with still just our 10-0 lead here. But going into half, a solid first half, 163 yards through the air. Maybe try to get some ground game here, but definitely some Western Kentucky ball we're playing here in that air raid Tyson Nelson system. Let's see if we can pick it up in the second half. All right, back here in the second half of football. Definitely good. Saw a good half from T.J. Helton. Childress, I think it was Brandon, is his first name, Childress, had a great first half. Really great catch deep down the field. I believe that was during that 2-minute drill. Hopefully we continue to find more of those guys. Maybe get Dalvin Smith involved, get Elijah Young a little bit more involved. And for our defense, just getting off the field quicker. You know, it's the problem we had last year. The actual toppers did have last year. It's just, you know, we can't afford to be, oh, Jesus, that's just caught us in the, you know, off guard there. But, yeah, it's the same problem I would say that Western had last year for sure. It's just, you know, a lot of the theory was with the defense is not something you really want to hear was the bend but don't break, which is not, you know, something you really want to have to rely on. You would prefer it just be, you know, making stops and getting off the field, as we have a big hit there by Anthony Johnson Jr. But unfortunately, we got left in a lot of situations where our defense was doing kind of exactly what they did against FCS Midwest, and it was, you know, letting them drive down field as we get a little pressure on the quarterback there. So we definitely want to hope we're making some stops as opposed to bending here and letting them waste a bunch of time, because, you know, this is college football, so in its way you know, you only have so many games for your record. You want to also make sure you're putting up a good amount of points. As we get a third down right here, here's an opportunity for the defense. First opportunity to get off the field in this second half. Oh, fake the run. Can the safety come down to make the play? He can. Beautiful play. Is that DeMarco maybe who came down and made that play? It was hard to tell. But a good play there by our safety to come down. And might have been Virgil Washington's, whoever it was that came down and made that play. As the punter's going to angle this one out of bounds. Right over the 5-field line. So, offense coming back out on the field here in the second half after a great first half. Let's see what we can get cooking. Not much there in the run game. Kind of has been the story of the run game so far. I tell you what, though, let's go ahead and keep this ball on the ground. I like that the right side is pretty open. Find a hole here. Can he keep going? Got a few yards there. Not a ton, but got a little bit. But we'll get left with a 3rd and short here. Maybe this is a shot down. Maybe we take a shot here and kind of, you know. Oh, because I think I was going to say we'll probably go ahead and just go for this anyway. Do we put this on the shoulders of Elijah Young? I think we do. Put a little pressure on him. As that's going to be a beautiful block. And he fumbles. He puts the ball on the ground. But fortunately, we're fortunate enough. I believe that's our center who jumps back on that ball. Ooh, that could have been a change in momentum really quick. As we're going to give Elijah Young, you know, the next play off. Definitely want to be, you know, the ball is the program, as they say, as Dalvin Smith makes a great catch there. I believe his first of the game. Need to get him more involved. The ball is the program. You definitely don't want to be putting that on the ground. There we go. Great catch there by Matson underneath. It's definitely our slot receivers that I'm liking in this offense. Those underneath routes, those curls, you know, the hitches, you know, on this Heisman difficulty, as they're going to send the blitz there and make the stop behind the line of scrimmage. It's those short routes that we're going to want, I think, definitely to be, they're going to be the most successful. Oh, but we do have River Helms here on a deep corner route. Makes a great catch to move us down to the 4-yard line. Let's see here. Let's go to a little bit of a read option play. Reading that end man line scrimmage. As we made really the wrong read there, but a big broken tackle by TJ Finley. Unfortunately, he wouldn't get much after that. Coaches want us to keep this ball on the ground, maybe give this ball to Elijah Young, hopefully find his way into the end zone. That way we can give him some momentum. But what I'm thinking is we go to Dalvin Smith and hopefully he can curl this around and run away from this corner in this man-to-man defense. Oh, but he's not going to break off the line. It's going to get tipped and intercepted. There is a flag down on the play. And we get lucked out with a pass interference call, but that was against the corner that he was on, so maybe not so much luck. Now, here's an interesting strategy. What if we go a little QB blast with our 6'7" quarterback in an empty formation? I have a feeling this could work out really well, and it does. TJ Finley gets clipped, but he ends up in the end zone. A little Josh Allen-esque play there from our big quarterback, finding his way into the end zone for his first rushing touchdown of the year. And it looks like we'll take a 17-0 lead barring the PAT. Oh, and I spoke too soon. Definitely need to get this kicking meter more, personally get it more dialed in. But with that said, big play there. Good drive again. Good to see, our offense clicking through the air. Would like to see a little bit better in the run game. Definitely can't be putting the ball on the ground. That was scary. Kind of lucked out there with the way it bounced. But, that's just kind of the way it goes when things are going your way compared to last week when they were definitely not going our way. Like the defense made the stop last time, too, that led up to that score. Oh, little RPO option there. But yeah, also just a reminder, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to finish this game. I'll take a little bit of time off, kind of go, take probably like 10, 20 minutes, start upstream it again, and then when I get back, we'll start, which will probably be a little bit after 11, depending on when this game ends. I'm going to start up as there's a big completion there, the Road to Glory series first episode. I'll start that up when I get back. And then that way, it'll make also getting the editing that and getting it to YouTube a little easier for me personally too. But that'll start up when I get back. So, but for now, we got to worry about finishing. They can't look too far in the future. We got to worry about finishing this game. They kind of continue to walk this ball down the field. Defense, we definitely still got a little bit to learn about playing defense in college football 25. I run, just from my Madden days, I'm a big cover 3 guy. That's usually my go-to there. Maybe I need to start mixing up my coverages, trusting my corners and man coverage. I mean, Madden, you just ran man coverage and you just got beat. If your corners weren't fast enough and didn't have the coverage stats, you just got beat. But here we run man coverage, and wow, a beautiful catch in the end zone there. Did he get his foot down? Doesn't look like he did. Gave him too much time to throw there. Again, we kind of struggle here at the D-line again. Another reason I kind of like running the, well, that's a name right there. Xavier with a XZ. Wow, I don't know in the history of Xaviers if I've ever seen it spelled XZ. As we're going to go into a booth review here. Would that be Xavier? I don't even know what that would be. Maybe that's common. I just don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. But they are going to give him the score. It looked like he might have had it. So that's probably the right call there. Got the call on the field right. Good eyes by the official. Let's see if we can stop this 2-point conversion, because they're still very much in this game. We might be looking too far past these guys. They're going to run a little screener. It's not going to work. Good stop by the defense. Good eyes by the corners to keep their eyes. Oh, as they're going to go into an onside kick here. Very interesting. Did not expect that. Got to take the timeout. Get our hands team out there. As somebody was going crazy there on the sideline for a second. Oh, good recovery by our hands team there. Interesting. That shows me maybe a little bit of fear on their side. That they're afraid that they can't get TJ Finley off the field. As Elijah Young's going to get a nice little carry for 5 there. As I do think what we're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and put this chew clock on. Here on the Heisman difficulty, right now we're just trying to get wins. We're trying to win games. It don't matter. We don't got to put up 40, 50 points. We don't need guys winning the Heisman. We want to get wins and win, especially like the goal here. I think our coaching goal was to get a bowl game or win a bowl game. But I think personally the goal going into the season is to win Conference USA. We want to win the conference. As a big third down comes up here, maybe we can get River Helms on this little hitch. Nice catch, nice throw and catch there as we're going to hit the 2-minute warning here. But I definitely think this season the goal for me is we want to win the Conference USA. I think we have definitely the team that's a possible goal. This stuff is the stuff that I can't control myself. I think I see this, you're going to get press coverage with no safety help. Come on, you can't be doing that. Oh, wish I would have thrown that over the shoulder. Still learning the controls here, as they're going to do it again, they're going to line up, load this box, but can we get some blocks? We do get some blocks as a great run there. They're going to take their time out. I believe that's their first time out of the game. It is. They're going to bring these safeties down again. I think this is a 4-down thing, so maybe again, I don't like that they're bringing these safeties down. I think that leaves too much margin for error. Maybe we can get an easy score here. As it is, Stalvin Smith beats the corner on the left side. And a big touchdown there to extend the lead. The big receiver comes up with a nice catch over the throw. Great throw by TJ Finley to extend the lead to 22-6 with a minute 48 left. Nice throw. Just over the corner, hit him in the backside shoulder. Perfect throw. It's up and it's good to make it a 23-6 lead with a minute 48 left in the game. They got a little too aggressive to stop the run and left the coverage vulnerable. And TJ Finley is too smart, and he's going to see that every time and extend the lead here. So now we got to expect him to go down the field here. So we're going to keep it into that cover 3. I'm not a big fan of cover 4. I think it leaves you too vulnerable to even the intermediate routes. But here we are. Almost got a big hit from, I believe that might have been Gertie coming down. I'm not 100% sure. It's hard to tell from that far back. But it'll bring up second down on the incompletion. Great coverage here. They will make the catch, but it's going to bring up a third down. Like this, keeping everything in front of us this late in the game. Rallying to the ball, but a big third down here. Probably 4-down territory. Definitely 4-down territory. And they will not have to make a decision there because they'll get the first down. As they'll hurry up back to the line, trying to conserve those 2 timeouts, as it's, more than a 2-score or more than a 1-score game. But they definitely need to move this ball down the field if they're going to do it. I thought maybe for a second I'd be able to cut that thing off. But still, nonetheless, good play there. Gain of 3s, we'll take those all day at this point. Here's the snap. Verticals down the field, and we'll get another sack, second sack of the game. I think that was our defensive tackle on that one. It was hard to tell. What was it? What's Wheeler maybe? Maybe it was Wheeler again with another sack. They'll make a nice toss over. The tight end will shake off the hit, but we will eventually make the tackle as they continue to find plays when they need them to move this ball down the field. As they'll get the spike off here. I do want to keep 4. Do I want to keep? I think I want to keep 4 guys down on him just to get that pressure, make him have to get that ball off instead of letting him sit back and have all day there. As we almost came up with that interception, fingertips away from the ball. It was our linebacker. I believe that was Devin Lynch. Was coming downhill on that ball, read that perfectly, but couldn't quite come up. He might have taken that thing to the house. So they'll try to corner out here, and did he get his foot down there? Man, good catch. First down, 25 seconds left. Hope is kind of fading. Big hit there as he'll drop the ball. It looks like we'll end up this with a WKU win. It's just a matter now of, maybe some people who took the spread are a little bit concerned at this point. But other than that, I think overall we probably were favored by more than this. If I had to put money, I bet we're favored by more than this against, who would I say we play? Eastern Kentucky this week of the season. As a quarterback, kind of continuing to look for hope, but he'll take a big hit as he continued to try to keep the play alive. As we'll get the fourth down here. This most likely won't be the last play of the game, but we are edging close to that end. And this could be the final nail in the coffin. Nice play by our corner there. And we'll bring out the victory formation to call it a game. First win of the year, 23-6. Not a huge one, but, watching the way the game unfolded, overall, pretty good. The defense did let up that one drive they got down the field, but TJ Finley in the offense, player of the game, 233, 72.7 completion percentage, 2 TDs. I think that probably, I don't know if that is counting his rushing TDs, so he might have had 2 through the air and 1 on the ground as well. So great game for TJ Finley, proving that he's worth that starter role that he beat out Vent Camp in the offseason for, and a big Western Kentucky win there. Let's go ahead really quick, look at the stats. Passing wise, Finley, 16 for 22, 230 yards, a touchdown. He also had a rushing, so he did have 2 touchdowns total. Also, we can't forget Michael Matheson, the trick play, 22-yard pass. Big play there. That was definitely a fun one to have in the playbook. We'll have to pull out at sometimes during games. On the ground, didn't really get much. Only ran it 16 times. Elijah Young was only averaging 4 yards a carry with 45. He did have the touchdown, also fumbled as well. And then Finley, he had those 5 rushes, but the big one was the QB draw he took into the end zone. Probably won't see him running too much this year. In the air, we had 7. Matheson, our slot guy, continues to be our biggest target, or but also can't count out Dalvin Smith with 3 big catches, one of them going for longest catch of the game. Well, I guess Childress had the big catch of the game, but he had another big catch, 69 yards, and the big touchdown play. Elijah Young getting in, River Helms a couple big receptions. Childress was the one who had the really nice seam route where he ran for 40 yards. Going to the defensive side of the ball, leading the team in tackles was Anthony Johnson Jr. Upton Stout also had some tackles for loss. We had Hosea Wheeler had his 2 sacks. Big game for Hosea Wheeler. You love to see that. Goodry had 1 tackle for loss. No interceptions, no forced fumbles. But overall, still a good game on both sides of the ball as we come away with the win. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead. We'll go ahead and sim into. We just had those 5 points on recruiting. Yeah, okay. We weren't going to use this thing. We'll go ahead and sim into that next week. But we're not going to go ahead and play. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do, as we have reaching those top 5s, we're first in both those guys, so that's good. Is really quick, I do want to check, as we have a big game this upcoming week against the Middle Tennessee, the 100 miles a, but I do want to check real quick. I'm not going to do the scouting, but I want to see, just out of coincidence, if with this bringing to the house, do we have these 3 check marks on anybody yet? So not on. Sorry, let's scan this. But so let's check Tabor. How do we jump on him? So we did jump up into that number 2 spot. That's good. But are we going to be able to compete with Maryland? Maybe not. we don't even have any of his top ones yet. So Tabor might be a hard one to get. Kevin Locke, we do have his three, so that's good. And we're number one on his board. We basically have him locked up, but we might be able to hard sell him with those three and get him um, to sign early. That's good. Murphy, overview. No one's going at him, so maybe we go ahead and we bring the house on him and try to get him um, into the building. Ham, Georgia still, but no one's really pursuing him, and we have his three already. Or sorry, no, we don't have his three because I was looking at those on the right side. So maybe we try to go at Ham as well as Murphy. Um, and maybe abandon Tabor because I don't know if we really are going to want to compete with Maryland, and especially as far ahead as they are. Hooks. We're ahead on Hooks right now. Looking at recruiting, we only have two of his right now, so hopefully here in a little bit. We can schedule a visit, though, so we have some guys that we'll be able to schedule visits for here pretty soon. Setter Storm, we're really far ahead. We might already looked at him, but for him, we only have two. Can't quite hard some yet. Reggie Speed, that's a good name there. I like Reggie Speed. We only have the one box checked right now. We're way ahead of Purdue on him as well, so that's pretty good. Shaker, Dennis Shaker, the 4-star, who's basically a 5-star, would definitely want to land him. He's a big one. They already have him scheduled for a visit at Akron. So we definitely going to have to add that. And we have his three, so that's good. So I think with him, we'll probably next week we'll probably give him the hard sell, and then the next week we'll probably schedule him for a visit. And I think that kind of wraps up the 4-star. So realistically, looking at recruiting, we have a good shot at getting a lot of these guys. I mean, if we just go to the overview, Tabor is probably gonna be difficult. We might want to abandon him. Locke, I would say, is a lock, ironically, to come to WKU. I like that right now. Murphy might be a guy we can go after. We're gonna have to decide between Murphy and Ham. Maybe we go Ham just because we already have a lock at receiver, and maybe we don't really need another receiver. Plus, you risk more of the fact. But either way, we're risking a big name school coming at one of these guys. Um, Ham, I believe he's 6'5", 190. So I'm not quite sure what athlete thing's still confusing me a little bit, but maybe he'll be able to play more. King, we didn't really look at King. We kind of just haven't done too much with him. He's not near his top 8 yet, and you got a couple smaller name schools, decent sized schools going at him. Hooks is good. We need to keep going at him. Right now we're number 1 on his list, so that's good. And he is a bust, but that's okay. He'll still be good for us. Setterstrom is number 2 in his state, number 19 overall, so we can get him to commit. That would be very good. Another receiver in Reggie Speed. So, and it looks like, I'm not saying we're going to lock him in, but we're doing really well on him. Shaker, another running back that we're looking good on. He'll be a really good running back because he's that 4-star, but he's also a gem, a diamond in the rough, excuse me. So we got a lot of running backs, a lot of receivers. If we can get Tabor, maybe we got to go at Tabor because he's a defensive tackle. If we can get Ham, maybe he can play other positions too. Overall, and then down here we have guys that still are going to look good. DeMarco is a guy that we scheduled him for a visit, I believe. So that's good. We want to get him that diamond in the rough. If we can find more of those 3-star diamond in the roughs guys, tight end Zach McDonald, we definitely have guys that we can hopefully fill the roster with, and we'll worry about getting those other 3 and 4 stars later. But definitely hopefully we can get a pretty good recruiting class here, get a lot of these 4 stars. We're not going to do any scouting right now because we want to, because we'll save all that for the next week. And so we're not going to do any of that right now. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do now, I'm going to bring this stream to an end, but I'll be jumping on back here in like another 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and we'll go ahead and we'll start the Road to Glory series. The Veer running with the Navy should be some fun, should maybe interesting, to see how that goes. as a team, it's fun, to run that veer. I know I did it during the game. Road to Glory is a little difficult because you're limited by just playing the quarterback position as opposed to being able to play um, all of it. So, what we'll do is it'll kind of be an experiment. If I go in and we play that first week, because I'm going to make it where I'm going to be a starter, because at the Naval Academies and stuff, you can only play, and I'll explain this more. You can only play. You only have 4 years of eligibility. You can't get redshirted. So I'm going to make it where I can instantly start there. And if it's just not, you really can't do much, then I'll kind of skip that, and maybe we'll abandon that and go to a different school and just be a quarterback somewhere else. But besides that, maybe start at a smaller school and then try to get up higher or something. But I think besides that, that's all I got for now. So yeah, we'll be back in about. We're gonna end the stream right here, but I'll be back in about like 20-ish minutes, and we'll start with the Road to Glory. So I'll see you all in a little bit.